Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, September 7th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Krista. Please do say hello. Put that aside. We'll need it again. We have a crude oil inventory report session at 11 o'clock this morning. Good morning, Pamela. All right. Crude. First trade of the morning, 41 seconds after 9 a.m. Unfortunately, nothing to do to avoid that, so it goes from 87.32, stop and reverse at 87.19. So that's 13 ticks, 26 tick loss. We do get a target 1 on the reversing short. Oh, whoops. All right, let's see what we've got. Yeah, we got 11 ticks on target. Missed target 2 by 1. Right at the $87 mark. That would be a time to definitely take profit. And that would get you positive if you did take profit. Good morning, Arizona Bob. If you didn't take your profit there, then you're not going to be positive, and we would be looking for another trade. Market just opened. Seven seconds on that bar, probably too fast to catch. Okay, pulled back to start and then zoomed up. So I would call that as a no trade. Soybeans. The get in sync long did not trigger. We were down well below the entry, so our entry is the short that just triggered in. Russell with a short trade. Micro Russell on Catapult. We'll get to unleaded. It was very active this morning. We need need to go 1 tick beyond target 1 for our 14 tick minimum on the micro Russell. And there's target 1. We need 1 more tick to get break even. Soybeans picks up target 1, 10 ticks. Stop at 67 flat. Oh, I'm sorry. Micro Russell stopped out before ever getting down there. 32. Yeah. Probably didn't get in that. Probably got in that, but hitting the stop again, so we're definitely out of it. So that is a losing trade to start the morning. Just missing money management on the pound Aussie. Pound Aussie started off with a get in sync from this early morning 7 a.m. trade. But 8:30 was right here. So we trigger in coming back up, just missing money management and all the way back down to a full stop out. So tough one there. But now in a new long. And I believe we just hit money management. Money management is 519. And we got as high as 519 flat. Yes, we just hit money management. All right, trying to reach target 2 on the pound Aussie. And it just did. Move that to there. So 2 positions coming off at target 2. Long trade on the micro Russell, and that's a bigger than usual trade. 2.4 to target 1. Normal target 2 is around 2. I like to wait, want to get 3 there before I go ahead and move the targets down. All right. This initial trade was too fast, and we got a short. That stops and reverses to long, picks up target 1, and we're trailing now at 24 with a reversing trade at 29. I would probably have taken that at 29. So short on the YM, needing to, I don't know, we might be POQ already. $464, so our entry on the stop and reverse would have been $496. 30, wow. Yeah, 32 tick risk on the stop and reverse. So down 64, we pick up 39 on target. Actually, no, we pick up 37 on target. It's a stop and reverse. But then we pick up another 29. Target was at 32. So we pick up 34 if we take the reversal exit for 71, and that is POQ. Soybean stops out at break even for 3 ticks on that, on the 3 positions there, plus 10 on target is 13 on the morning. And a second loss on the Russell, and now in a short. Still waiting on a third trade on crude. And if you took that short trade, you picked up a just a money break even, 1 tick. 1 or 2 ticks, but that should be done for the morning. All right, quick review of unleaded this morning. This trade set up 10 seconds ahead, but came back and just touched the entry exactly at somewhere between 11 and 24 seconds after our start, so we should be in that, should have been in that. Picks up a partial win, 249 from 221, so 28 ticks on the partial. Times 2, 56. Then we get a full loss on the short, 74. So we're down just 18. We pick up another. Actually, this one was too fast. It set up at 9:05:15, 1 second, and it never came back. So that one's definitely too fast. We pick up a short, 9:06:05. That goes for a full loss. 64 tick risk, 128. So 146 ticks down now. 3 trades in. Fourth trade is a short from 344. That sets up a stop and reverse. Plenty of time on that bar. Stop and reverse is going to be at 362. So this stop and reverse, yeah, that wasn't a stop and reverse, so yeah. Full loss, yeah, down 18. Down 18 on that one, yeah, that one's 74, or no, that one was 128. Yeah, we're down 146. We go 344 to 362. 1836. So 182 down. Target just pick up. Target 2 traders just pick up 2 ticks there. Target 1 traders pick up 25 plus 2 plus 1, 26. And then trade number 6 is a short. Picks up target 1 and target 2. Target 1 traders pick up 41, target 2 64, and stops out at 317 from the entry at 338. So that's going to be our 6 trades. It's going to be a losing session. Tough day on unleaded. So now we will go to the micro Russell, or sorry, micro NQ. This is a case where this may be a valid trade that hit. That's going to be a break-even trade at best. So we'll call that a break-even, and I won't try to figure out what happened. So our second trade long here. Lots of time to get in that one. Getting target 2 for the win. Still just at the break-even stop, 207 flat. And our entry was 206 3/4. And stopping out for a break even. On the break even stop, we pick up 3 more pips in addition to the 2 positions that came off for 15 each. So we pick up 33 on that trade. Still going to need at least another trade. That was a pretty sizable loss on the first trade. 27 tick risk times 5 positions. $135 tick loss. So we're down 102 now. And here is our final trade on crude. A short at 43. And there it is for the entry. So crude in. So YM is POQ, as is soybeans. And the Russell taking a second full loss. The short gets us to money management, so that's a break even. Doesn't get target 3. Crude trade looking for money management at 87.25. Missing money management by 1 tick. Testing the 50 EMA again on crude. And a stop and reverse on micro NQ. Reversing to short. That is positive, so don't take the adjustment there. Although it looks like an adjustment might have kept us in that. 09 to 08 3/4. Yep, and one point adjustment would have kept us in the long. And would still have us slightly positive. So let's make that. And looks like we still didn't trigger it in. Showing the low of 08.5, so missing it by a tick. And now triggering in. So definitely in the short with a very small profit on the long. Crude did hit money management. And target 1. And taking some heat on this short on the micro NQ. 87.42 for the crude stop. Picking up 20 ticks for target 1 on crude. We went from, yeah, that's right, we were down 26, picked up 11, yeah, because 87.09 would have been 10 ticks, so you picked up 11 ticks on target and stopped out at 18, which would have been 1 tick. So I picked up 12. So down 14. Picking up 20 puts us plus 6. So we will be POQ on this trade. And it's the 3rd trade of the morning anyway, so it's going to be our last. We will make POQ this morning on crude. At least 6, 7, 8 ticks positive now. Stop at 41. Back around the entry for our micro NQ short, and pushing to new lows there on the short, and then coming back up toward the 50, or toward the entry and the 50. This is a pretty big short. Let's see, we've got, yeah, target one of 34 points. I would bring your targets down to 1, 2, and 3 rather than 2, 3, and 4 with this big a trade. And crude, stop at 36, hasn't stopped out yet. 7 ticks on the trailer, so 13 net on the morning so far, still in that trade. Okay, target one on the micro NQ, 34 points, and the stop comes to, we'll make that 208.5 since we adjusted the entry. All right. Crude stopping out at 87.28 from 43 is 20. That's 15. So we get 21 ticks on the session, 9 a.m. session. 10 a.m. session starting in under 3 minutes. So we took the full hour on that 9 a.m. session. $10 a.m. session today is kind of optional. You've got the full hour for the session. Well, we do have a crude inventory report coming up at 11. Okay, 2 break-evens, 2 losses on the Micro Russell. And 2 wins on the Micro NQ this morning. Micro NQ redeeming itself from a tough time in the last couple of days. Alright, we're into our 10 a.m. crude session, and we have a possible stop and reverse. Looks like at plotted entry is 203/4. I'm definitely going to go to 201 3/4, and the 50 EMA is at 202.87. So I would take that to 203 1/4. And that's going to keep us in the short. Pretty big adjustment, but I think that one's worth it. I'm getting up close to that 50 EMA coming down. I just had that on the chart. And if you had taken that at the 203/4, it came up and hit the entry, and it immediately went back to the stop. So that stop and reverse is off the table. So the adjustment keeps us in that trade. still actually tracking the prior trade. Well, I am kind of in a little bit of a sideways, somewhat downward drift. Micro Russell and Micro NQ both currently in down moves. Micro NQ pushing to session lows. Target 2 at 152 flat. The session low sitting at 157.5. So we'll have to get through that to get to target 2. If crude continues to go sideways for about 30 minutes, and I wouldn't carry the session any further than about 10:30 if it doesn't start to pick up any trades. Actually, I probably wouldn't carry it beyond 10:30 anyway. Alright, after a rapid start, things have slowed down quite a bit. Micro NQ our only active trade. Active charts are Micro NQ Catapult, Micro Russell Catapult. 10 a.m. crude session looking for a trade. And the pound Aussie looking for another trade. Everything's slowing down to 10 o'clock. Crude inventory at 11. So I went between 10:30 and quarter to 11. I'll shut things down for this session and get ready for that. Our stop is still up here at 208 and a half. And another stop in reverse just below the 50 again. Looks like 91 3/4 this time, with the 200 EMA at 94, 95 basically, 95 flat. I'll take it to 92 3/4. And a little bit too far to move it, to push it up above the 50. But we'll give it a chance to stay in the short. And stopping and reversing to long. So that's a target 1 win for 34 points, and then partial win at the 92 3/4 for the rest of the positions. Two winning trades on the micro NQ so far. And the micro NQ pushing up. Micro Russell looks like it's wanting to reverse. And the YM still kind of sideways. Still with a downward drift, but not looking like it wants to continue down. Alright, target 1 on the micro NQ. Target 2, trade number 3 win. Still no trades on crude. Possible short coming on the pound Aussie. If we close below the balance line, looks like we possibly could get a short trade about 519 if we get a down bar here on the pound Aussie. That's going to be a big trade because that will be the 4th bar of the setup. The extra bar needed to get below the balance line. Stop's going to be 46, it looks like, because the exhaustion dots are at 43.7. And we get it up close, so not gonna set up the trade yet. Still status quo. And there is a long trade on crude oil, set up at 87.46. Money management at target 1. YM pushing down. Russell did get a crossover, so if it starts pushing down again, we're likely to get a new short there. Not to the crossover yet. Looks like that's likely going to be at least another bar. It's going to take this bar closing down and another one closing down. Looks like crude may have hit the entry there on the long trade. And the micro NQ is trailing. 207.25 for the stop. Crude trade did trigger in. Pound Aussie and the micro Russell still flat, along on the micro NQ and crude on Spotlight. 8-tick momentum, or 8-cent momentum bar, 8-tick range bar on crude. Now the micro Russell picked up another up bar, so it looks like we need at least a couple of down bars before we get a crossover. And the micro NQ stopping out. $207 and 3 and $207 and a quarter. Yeah, $207 and a quarter. Completes our third winning trade. So one more winner, and that will end this micro NQ session this morning. Crude taking some heat now. Stop at 87.28. 200 EMA is at 87.26. That's a fairly small trade. I'm not going to add 3 ticks to the risk trying to get, because it's going to be at least 3 ticks to get below the 200 EMA. Alright, micro NQ, no crossover there. So we continue as we were. So micro NQ is still flat. Crude got up to 87.53. 3 ticks from our target, but now is back down to the entry again. And a long setup on the pound Nazi that triggered in. Right. There's the the pound Aussie trade. Potential short trade coming this bar with a down close on the micro Russell. Crude still long. And there's your short trade on the micro Russell. I would get that down to 89.6. Yeah, probably 89.6. But in the trade either way. Short on the micro Russell. Long on the pound Aussie. Long on crude. Another excursion below the 50 and then bouncing up again, looks like, on crude. Back at our entry. Crude just going sideways. Very, very slow drift upward with the 50 EMA. Slow drift upward, bringing the 50 with it. I would not take any more trades on crude at this point. If we get a stop and reverse, take it as an exit. We do have, since we do have the inventory report coming up in just over half an hour. Short setup on the micro NQ. That's just above the 50 EMA. 206 3/4. 50 EMA is 206 1/4. Pull that down to 206 even. Make it, now let's make it 205 3/4. Try to tuck that in behind the 50 below the 50 EMA. Trade still valid, even though it touched the stop. It has not touched the entry yet, so still a valid trade. And crude not crude. Micro Russell stops out for loss number 3. Trending day, and unfortunately not being able to pick up the trend. When we got the short trades, they were when it was in consolidation, and they were either break even, a loss, and a break even. Or actually 2 break evens, I believe, on the short side. Both break evens and 2 losses on the short side. So not a good day for the Micro Russell, even though it appeared to be a nice trading day. Pound Aussie pushing up toward the 200 EMA. Entry at 44. Money management is at 61.1. And there's money management. On the Pound Aussie. And target 1. So the stop now is definitely at dead break even. And that is 19 pip win to target 1. We got within 1 tick at 55 on crude, not quite 56. With money management at 56, I would have to hold the target at 56. All right, and Micro NQ, tracking this one manually, we hit the stop before we hit the entry. Money management, this is going to be at least a break-even trade. We said, I called it 205 3/4, so 205.50 for the stop. And pushing up very close to target 2. On the pound Aussie. And crude looks like it finally took the full stop out. Looks like it got down to 27. Yeah, actually 26 wouldn't have been a bad place. Once the 200 came up right there, 26 would be a good place for the stop. And that would have kept us in at this point. Had I been watching that one continuously, I probably would have, when the 200 EMA came up that close, I'd have tucked the stop in behind it. I didn't want to make more than a 2-tick adjustment, but it still stops out at 26. So whichever way you played it, that's a loss, and I wouldn't try to get in another trade. Not 25, just 25 minutes in front of the report. And a break-even stop out on the micro NQ for trade number 4. Everybody's being quiet this morning. Questions or comments? Long trade on the micro NQ. Quick up move there. Yeah, that one's gotten away too fast. Unless it comes back down to the entry, that's going to be a no trade. Just shy of money management, and there's money management, so that trade is definitely off the table. 216 flat for the stop, but not involved. There's another long trade on crude. I would not take that just 21 minutes before the hour where the crude inventory report's going to be. Squeeze zone short on the pound Aussie. That would have reversed at 46, and that is filtered for the moment. $10.30 rally. All three indices moving up fairly strongly right now. YM actually getting into positive territory. Session open there at 468. Crude definitely working in positive territory. Well, no, crude's actually working in negative territory, but session open was 87.61, so not far, and just about 10 cents above where we are now. Looks like not very big range. Yeah, 86.78 to 87.74, so just under $1 in total range today. Shame to have missed out on that micro NQ long, but that was just too fast to catch. And stopping out for break even. Okay. 11:15, so it's time to shut this one down. Flat everywhere. As I said, I would not have taken that long looking the same as the one before. Unfortunately, the one before ultimately stopped out before then bouncing up and going to target. So a little frustration there. But we will come back to a regular session tomorrow, but I will be back in about between 10 and 15 minutes for the 11 a.m. inventory session. So we will see everybody. Good job, Krista. What do you mean you had the wrong one? Oh, okay. Well, Unirenko is not necessarily certainly not the only one for NinjaTrader, but I haven't looked at the capabilities in the others for. All right, we'll see. Yeah, thank you, Pamela. We'll see you back in a few minutes. I haven't looked. There's like 3 or 4 others that I've looked that I know are available. I haven't looked at the capabilities. But I believe the other 3 are all. Yeah, you have to pay for those, whereas Unirenko is a free one. But with that said, we will see everybody back here shortly. Okay, you couldn't program you couldn't program it as you wanted it to be. All right. In that case, we will see everybody in about 10 minutes. Have a good one, and we talk to you shortly.